welcome back to Simply Fujica, a place for budding and inspiring entrepreneurs. Guys, thanks for tuning in again for another video. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Guys, before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so that you're reminded every time I drop a new video. And last but not least, guys, make sure you like the video. Okay, guys, I want to talk about, is there a way you can truly have work-life balance? Now, guys, some people think that's just like a catchphrase. Some people think that they could never achieve that in their life. And guys, I think I finally have achieved it after all of this time. And I want to share with you 9 ways. Now, it's funny that I came up with 9. Not 10, not 5, not 3, but 9. So we're going to discuss 9 ways in which you can achieve work-life balance. And guys, don't think of this video as just fluff. We really have got to take care of ourselves. We're hearing more and more about self-care. We're hearing more and more about mental stability, mental happiness. And I think part of that is really understanding when you need a time out, when you need to time out, when you need to take a time out to take care of yourself. A lot of us have been just taught to push through. And I'm a rebel against that. I don't think we were put here on this earth to just push through things. I think we are here to enjoy. Yes, we've got to put some, sweat equity into our businesses, and we've got to work hard, right? But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy life. And so that's kind of what drove me to create this video. Is I want to challenge you to take control back of your life, of your happiness, your joy, and let you know that there is a way for you to achieve work-life balance. So if that sounds like something you want to listen to, then stay tuned. The first tip that I have for you is to create time for yourself. Now, for those of you who have done a coaching session with me, then you're no stranger to the fact that when I first meet you, once I understand what your needs are, the second thing I have people do is take an inventory of themselves. And that inventory, depending on what we're talking about, usually points to when you are happy, when you were doing things well, what are you doing? And so guys, I challenge you to do that same thing when you're happy, when you're having fun. What are those things that you're doing? That's the only way that you're going to be able to find instant mood builders, is to understand what makes you happy. What are those things that boost your mood? I will tell you, for me, you can ask any of my friends, anyone who knows me, if I go to a spa, I am instantly in a better mood, and that mood will last probably about a week. And so I have committed to myself that I will give myself a spa day at least once a quarter. At least once a quarter, I can peel myself away from my business, from my family for just a few hours, just to kind of renew, recharge, right? Just to get that zest back, to put some of that back into your step. You won't do that though. You won't be able to figure out what that thing is for you if you don't spend time for yourself. Additionally, when you're spending time with yourself, I want you to carve out time where you're not working. You're not checking emails, you're not looking on the gram, you're not watching YouTube channels. You're really just taking some time to think, to recenter, to be. I think it's really important that you invest in having quiet time. I would take this step a step further and say, you may not be ready to go to sleep at night, but maybe an hour or so before, turn off that TV, turn off the radio, unless you've got some kind of spiritual music or maybe some soft jazz, but just something to where you're giving your mind a break. You're giving yourself a break. Don't be afraid for people that are in your life. Don't be afraid to say, I need some me time. I need a minute, whether it's an hour, whether it's 2. I used to say to my former boss, this was the last corporate job that I had, I used to tell my boss, I need a mental health day, and she knew what that meant. And I can't remember a time that she told me I couldn't have that day. I think you need to be honest with the people that you have in your life to let them know, sometimes I just need a minute. And so when you have that minute, do the most that you can to reconnect with yourself, to be secure with the fact that you stuck up for yourself, and take that minute to get recentered. The second tip I have for you is to create a shower or bath routine. Now guys, anybody who knows me will tell you that when I take a bath, it's an experience. I'm lighting candles. I typically have a book that I'm reading. I've got some music, select music going on. I've got some new oil that I'm gonna try. I really spend time to just recenter myself and unplug from everything and everyone in the house. Now, most of the time, I'm just taking a quick shower, taking a quick bath, and I'm moving on with my day. This is different. This is when you need a break and you can't get to the spa, or you've got the kids, so you really can't go somewhere without taking them with you. This is really a way for you to get away while you're at home. But whatever you do during that time, it really should be all about you. It should be all about creating an experience for you that's going to be lasting. Guys, the third tip I have for you is a fun tip, and that's to invest in some nice perfume. Now guys, I'm going to make you laugh. For those of you who are familiar with a TJ Maxx or with a Ross or a Marshalls, I'm going to raise my hand and confess. I used to be that girl who would go there, find whatever smelled good, and I bought it. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have phases of life that we go through. As you get older, you do realize that certain scents are going to smell good on you, certain are not, based on your body chemistry, oils, things of that nature. And so I really urge you to find out, to uncover what scents really work for you. They definitely awaken things in you. They just, sometimes certain smells that you have automatically elevate your mood. And so I notice when I wear certain perfumes, almost every time I get compliments on them. And again, it's just something to make you feel good about yourself. So really spend some time understanding what scents work for you. The fourth tip I have for you guys is to connect with your inner child. Now guys, this is easy for me because I have an 8-year-old and I have a 12-year-old. And so, whether I want to or not, sometimes I'm just pulled into some fun activities with them, especially if I just want to spend some time with them. But, I would say the bigger lesson here is think of when you were a child. You didn't have a lot of responsibility. You threw caution to the wind, and at all costs, you found a way to have fun. I think it's important as an adult to visit that inner child every now and then, to really reconnect with the simplest version of you, so that we're not always so focused on the things that have to be taken care of. There should be some type of balance there. And dealing with that inner child brings out the laughter, brings out the true joy that money can't buy. When you were a child, we did a lot of dreaming, right? And so this is a way for you to tap into those dreams. When you were younger, what were you achieving? What were you thinking you were going to achieve by the time you became an adult? Really you could reach back and pull some of those memories forward. Some of those things are what we're going after today. So don't be afraid to really sit down and reach back, call back to that time, remember those times when life was a little bit more simple. The fifth tip I have for you guys is to connect with your spiritual being. I think I've shared this with you before. There was a time shortly before I quit my last job that I just felt like I wasn't centered. I didn't feel like I was having control over my day, and that made me feel as though I couldn't control my mood. So what changed this for me was me connecting to the spiritual side of myself. Guys, I can tell you, it wasn't until I came up with that routine, spending that time to connect with me, that I was able to understand that I set the tone for the day, that I dictate what's going to happen. And by doing so, I was able to regain control over what my day looked like versus feeling like my day was happening to me and it was being controlled by something or someone else. You really have to realize how powerful you are and really understand that you either intentionally or unintentionally dictate your day or set the tone for your day based on how you start it. The sixth tip that I have for you is really to design your non-negotiables. Now guys, this took a long time for me to understand. Every time a person called me, I answer the phone. If you text me, I text you right back. If you email me, I emailed you right back. Guys, that's exhausting. And so I think, some of us, I think the best way to say this is, if you don't feel like talking on the phone, don't take the call. If you don't feel like getting into this long email exchange, don't do that. So really understand. Now there's a time and place for everything, but if your non-negotiable is, I'm not accepting any emails after 6 p.m., you shouldn't still be on a computer at 9 p.m. drafting emails. It can wait until tomorrow. Now guys, emergencies aren't covered under this, right? Because emergencies can happen anytime, any place. So that's not what I'm referencing here. What I'm referencing is you sticking up for yourself and saying, hey, I'm not taking any business calls. I'm not taking any emails after 6, 7 o'clock. And that's my non-negotiable. If you have, now for instance, our business is a 7-day-a-week operation. So I can't say I'm not working on Saturday. I just can't do that. However, I can say that my hours of operation on Saturday is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. If somebody texts me outside of those, I might get it. But it's up to me to say, well, no, I won't respond until 9 a.m. the following day. So, it's taking control. It's you giving yourself permission to set standards for yourself and train the other people that are around you how to do business with you, how to be in a relationship with you. Hopefully that makes sense. You guys, put your comments below. Does that make sense? Or what do you do to set those boundaries in your life? The seventh tip that I have for you guys is an important one, but it is to stretch into the person you want to be. I know for my younger self, I was very critical of myself. And I think I was critical during some times in my life because I wasn't where I wanted to be. So instead of homing in on all the negative things, instead of constantly criticizing yourself, what are some actionable things you can do to be that person you want to be? So a question I might ask myself is, who is that woman I want to be? Who is she? What does she do? What does she look like? Why is that attractive to me? Why is that ideal to me? And then once you answer some of those questions, then you can start creating an action plan around that and seeing what steps you can take to become that person that is on the inside of you. So really decide who that person is. Know that you are that person. There might be some small changes you need to make. However, those changes have to make things better, not worse. And be willing to really stretch to meet those goals. Stretch to become that person you want to be. The eighth tip that I have for you guys is to find ways to elevate your mood. Now guys, I know that you've noticed in a lot of my videos you see flowers, like I shared in a previous video. I found these beautiful tulips at Target, believe it or not. I found it at Target, and just the color really spoke to me. They really scream spring, so look, I don't know what I had on my list. This was not it, but I had to buy them. You guys should also know most of the times you do see candles in my videos. That's purposely done. I love to smell good scents. I love perfumes. I love to visually find things appealing. I'm attracted to flowers. I'm attracted to scents. And so automatically those things put me in a good mood. they make me become the highest version of myself that I can present to you, because I think you deserve that. You guys wouldn't want me to come in front of the camera like, oh, I really don't want to do this video. I really don't have nothing to talk about. If that's the case, you guys would be shutting down, right? So I realize that, I recognize that. And so I want to make sure that you guys too see something that you're appealed to. But now I'm going to throw it back to you. What are those things that elevate your mood? What makes you feel better? You want to surround yourself with those things. You want to make sure that you're able to tap into those things. You deserve those experiences. You deserve to feel good about yourself. And you deserve to set the mood for yourself in those ways that make you feel like you're connecting to the highest version of yourself. Guys, the 9th and final tip that I have for you, turn off that TV. I have found, listen, I think we all love watching TV. We all have our favorite shows. I'm definitely not suggesting that. I am suggesting, though, that there's a time and place for TV. And I will tell you, I've become much more productive since I've turned that TV off. Because I think what happens is, and what I really mean to say here, because I want to be very clear about it. If you're doing something that is for your business, if you're doing a task that's important, the TV should not be on. The reason why I say that is because I will use myself as an example. I find myself watching more of the TV and listening to the TV versus getting my work done. Or now a 1-hour task has now taken 2 hours because that's how long my program is that I'm watching. So prioritize is a better way of saying this. If I know that there's something, for instance, that I do want to watch on TV, then I make sure my work is done so that I can focus on watching TV. Or I will DVR it for a day later on in the week where I know I'm not as busy, so that I can still watch the show, but my work does take priority. And so sometimes it takes compromise to ensure that your work is done, but you're still having a little bit of fun. You know, it really shouldn't be either or. You should be able to do both. So guys, I would love to hear from you. Those are my tips. Now this is Fujica's 9 tips. So your tips may be a little bit different. So I would love to hear, what are some things that you do to make sure that you achieve work-life balance? For me, these are things that I think have developed over years. I think as we grow and change, the list may grow and change. I know it's become that over a certain time. And so, you know, I think the bigger message here is I want to make sure that you know that it is achievable. It may take you standing up for yourself and not accepting things as easily as we do sometimes. But you're worth it. The results are worth it. And you're certainly worth digging into to figure out what makes you happy, or at least what will make you more joyful in this life. Okay guys, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you're notified every time a new video is released. And also guys, do not forget to like this video. Okay guys, that's all I have for you today. Stay blessed.